and you love your work, then you'll be, I think, fully happy. If you lack either of those two.
In a bustling restaurant, a humble cleaning lady crossed paths with none other than Elon Musk, delivering a bold and heartfelt warning that left him momentarily speechless. Little did she know that the next morning, a futuristic Cybertruck would be sitting outside her house, sparking a story that captivated millions. But was it gratitude, coincidence, or something more? Stay tuned as we unravel this incredible encounter and the unexpected twist that followed. The fateful encounter. On an ordinary afternoon in one of the sunlit Silicon Valley cafes, coffee and pastry aromas mingled with lively chatter, clattering cutlery, and energy where ideas brewed with espresso and creativity thrived. The place buzzed with the chaos of the lunch hour, a symphony of clattering dishes, murmured conversations, and the occasional bark of a stressed manager trying to keep the orders flowing. In the corner, a lone man sat hunched over a plate of barely touched fries, scribbling furiously on a crumpled napkin with a cheap ballpoint pen. Nobody gave him a second glance. Why would they? He looked disheveled, dressed in a faded hoodie and scuffed sneakers that screamed anonymity rather than wealth. To the bustling crowd, he was just another tech worker lost in thought. But this man wasn't just anyone. He was Elon Musk, the visionary billionaire whose mind was racing faster than the city traffic outside. Elon had chosen this unassuming spot for a rare moment of solitude. The corporate pressure surrounding Tesla's Cybertruck launch was mounting, and he couldn't afford any distractions. Yet, here he was, in the humblest of settings, trying to solve the last piece of a maddening design puzzle on a napkin. As he wrestled with his thoughts, Maria, one of the cafe's cleaning staff, was making her rounds. She was a sharp, no-nonsense woman in her 50s, her demeanor hardened by years of life's realities. To Maria, the customers were often background noise, faces she saw but rarely noticed. But something about the man in the corner caught her attention. His hunched posture, the furrow in his brow, the restless energy radiating from him. It reminded her of her son, who had once worked himself to the brink of collapse. Maria watched quietly from across the room as Elon muttered to himself, the napkin crumpling slightly in his clenched fist. She could tell he was someone wrestling with more than just an idea. Deciding she'd seen enough, she didn't wait for the moment to come to her. With her cleaning rag slung over her shoulder, Maria strode straight toward the table and, without hesitation, slapped the damp rag down on its surface. "You!" she said, her voice cutting through the din like a whip. "Whatever you're breaking your brain over, it can wait. Eat your food." Elon blinked up at her, startled. He didn't recognize her, but the intensity in her gaze made him sit up straighter. Maria didn't stop there. "You think solving everything on your own makes you strong. It doesn't. You're just burning yourself out for people who don't care if you drop dead tomorrow." The cafe had grown quieter. Elon's face betrayed no anger, just intrigue. Maria's words hit him harder than she could have imagined, and for the first time in hours, he let go of the napkin, reaching for the fries. Maria wasn't trying to give advice or tell him how to live. She was offering a warning. She had seen too many people in her life exhaust themselves, neglecting their health and happiness in pursuit of success. It wasn't advice. It was a warning from someone who had lived a life of hard work, and Maria was only trying to say what she knew. Take care of yourself before it's too late. In that fleeting yet powerful exchange, a door had opened, one that neither Maria nor Elon fully understood. What followed next would change both their lives forever. The cleaning lady's warning. Maria's bold move left a ripple of stunned silence in the cafe, but she didn't waver. She was a woman who had lived through too much to mince words, and something about the man in front of her, an ordinary man as far as she could tell, seemed to demand her honesty. Elon Musk, still unknown to her at that moment, stared back with a mix of surprise and curiosity. Few people spoke to him like that, let alone a stranger with a cleaning rag and a fiercely determined gaze. She leaned closer, her voice lowering but her tone as firm as ever. "I've seen this look before," Maria said, gesturing toward him with a slight nod. "The one where you think if you don't push yourself harder, everything's going to fall apart. That it's all on you, you're wrong." Elon didn't respond immediately. He was used to debates, challenges, and outright criticism from colleagues, investors, and internet trolls alike. But this wasn't a debate. Maria wasn't trying to prove a point or demand anything from him. Her words carried the weight of concern, not judgment. "Lady," he said finally, his tone cautious, "I don't even know you." Maria crossed her arms, undeterred. "And I don't need to know you to tell you the truth. I've cleaned tables for people like you before, always in a hurry, always chasing something. My son was the same way. Smart kid, too smart for his own good. Worked himself sick because he thought he could outrun the clock." Elon tilted his head, his curiosity now fully piqued. What happened to him? Maria's face softened, the fire in her eyes giving way to something more somber. He collapsed one day. Doctor said his heart couldn't take it anymore. He was only 32. She paused, letting the weight of her words sink in before continuing. "I buried my son because he couldn't see the line between ambition and self-destruction. I don't know what's got you so tied up in knots, but you've got the same look he had. And trust me, it doesn't end well." The cafe seemed to shrink in that moment, the usual noise fading into the background as Maria's words hung in the air. Elon sat back, his mind racing. He wasn't the sentimental type, but there was something in Maria's voice that felt unshakably real. "Look," she added, softening her stance but keeping her tone firm. "Whatever you're working on, it's important, right? You wouldn't be sitting here like this if it wasn't. But don't let it take everything from you, because once it does, you can't get it back." Elon nodded slowly, absorbing her words. His life had been a relentless sprint from one monumental project to the next. Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink. Each achievement seemed to demand more of him, pulling him further into a vortex of sleepless nights and unrelenting pressure. Maria's warning, however unexpected, struck a nerve he hadn't realized was exposed. Maria straightened, brushing her hands on her apron. "You think about what I said," she told him, her tone softer now but no less direct. Then, almost as an afterthought, she added, "And eat your fries. They're getting cold." A faint smile tugged at Elon's lips, a rarity in moments like these. For reasons he couldn't quite explain, he felt oddly lighter. As Maria turned to leave, he called out, "Hey!" She glanced back, her expression expectant. "What's your name?" he asked. "Maria," she said simply before disappearing into the crowd of tables. For a long moment, Elon sat there, staring at his plate of fries. The napkin with his scribbled ideas lay crumpled beside it, suddenly insignificant. He didn't know why, but Maria's words lingered in his mind, louder than the hum of the cafe around him. By the time he left the cafe, something had shifted within him. The weight Maria had seen, the one she had called out with such clarity, was still there, but it no longer felt immovable. And as Elon walked back to his car, an idea began to form, one that would soon turn into an extraordinary gesture. Elon Musk's response. As Elon Musk drove away from the cafe, Maria's words played on repeat in his mind. They weren't the carefully crafted arguments of a colleague or the calculated criticisms of an investor. They were raw, personal, and utterly disarming. The usually unflappable Musk found himself shaken, not by the weight of her warning, but by the simple truth embedded within it. Back at Tesla's design lab, Elon sat at his desk, the glow of the Cybertruck prototype casting sharp shadows on the walls. The futuristic design, all angular lines and bold defiance of tradition, had consumed him for months. Yet tonight, as he stared at the screen, his thoughts weren't on torque specifications or battery efficiency. They were on Maria, her unfiltered honesty, her loss, and her quiet courage to confront a stranger. Elon wasn't a stranger to criticism, but Maria's message felt different. It wasn't about his work, it was about him. She had seen through the billionaire persona to the man underneath, a man who had been running on fumes for far too long. It wasn't pity or admiration that motivated her. It was something far rarer in his world, genuine care. As the night wore on, Elon couldn't shake the idea that he needed to respond, not with words. Maria didn't strike him as someone who would be impressed by an eloquent thank you note, but with something that matched the weight of her gesture. His mind wandered to the Cybertruck parked just a few floors below. Sleek, unyielding, and unapologetically bold, it was a symbol of everything he stood for. But for someone like Maria, it could mean far more. A statement that even the smallest voices could reach the highest peaks. By the time dawn broke, Elon had made up his mind. He placed a call to Tesla's logistics team, his instructions leaving no room for negotiation. "I need one of the Cybertrucks prepped and delivered today," he said firmly. "And I know exactly where it's going." The logistics team was bewildered. While the Cybertruck was slated for production, the units at Tesla's headquarters were prototypes, guarded closely. But Elon was nothing if not persuasive, and by mid-morning, a gleaming Cybertruck was being polished to perfection. Elon took things a step further, personally drafting a note to accompany the truck. In his sharp, decisive handwriting, he wrote, "Maria, thank you for reminding me what truly matters. Keep being the incredible person you are. This truck is yours, a small token for the wisdom you shared and the life you've lived. Drive it with pride. Elon." He sealed the note in an envelope, placing it inside the truck's dashboard. He then instructed the YAI team to arrange a discreet but memorable delivery. Later that day, as the Cybertruck rolled out of Tesla's campus, Elon watched it go from the upper floor of his office. There was a rare, fleeting smile on his face. For all the accolades he had received and the milestones he had reached, this felt different. This wasn't about innovation or business. It was about connection. But what truly mattered wasn't the truck itself. It was the moment Maria would experience when she stepped outside her home and saw what had been left for her. It was a moment that would transcend words, one that would symbolize the unexpected ways lives can intersect and impact one another. As the truck neared Maria's modest neighborhood, the delivery driver double-checked the instructions. This wasn't an ordinary drop-off after all. With precision and care, the gleaming Cybertruck was parked right in front of Maria's small home, a striking contrast to its humble surroundings. Inside, the note waited to be discovered, along with the shock and awe that was about to unfold. The fortunate surprise. The next morning, Maria's usual routine began like any other. She was up before dawn, preparing breakfast for her children before sending them off to school. She had a long day of work ahead, filled with tasks that demanded both her time and energy. Little did she know, this day would turn out to be anything but ordinary. As Maria stepped outside her modest home to take out the trash, she froze in her tracks. Parked in front of her small driveway was something that seemed almost surreal. A brand new Tesla Cybertruck. Its futuristic design gleamed under the morning sun, the metallic finish reflecting her stunned expression. At first, she thought it must have been a mistake. Who in her neighborhood could possibly afford such a vehicle? She cautiously approached the truck, her heart pounding with disbelief. That's when she noticed a small envelope taped to the driver's side window, with her name handwritten on it, Maria. With trembling hands, she opened it. Inside was a short note, written in Elon Musk's unmistakable scrawl. "Thank you for your honesty. Your insight was invaluable. I hope this helps you and your family." Maria's legs nearly gave out as she clutched the note, reading it over and over. Her mind raced back to the previous day's conversation, the one she had convinced herself might not have mattered. It was hard to believe that her words, a humble observation, had resonated so deeply with someone as influential as Elon Musk. By now, her neighbors were starting to notice the shiny new addition to the street. A small crowd gathered, all murmuring in astonishment. Some speculated it was a publicity stunt, while others simply admired the truck's cutting-edge design. Maria, however, knew the truth. This was Elon's way of showing gratitude in the most extraordinary way possible. Inside the Cybertruck, she discovered it was fully loaded with features, a true testament to Tesla's engineering brilliance. It even had a personalized thank you card digitally displayed on the center console, reiterating Elon's appreciation. But what led Elon Musk to make such a grand gesture? To understand, we must explore the man behind the Cybertruck and his unique approach to gratitude. The backstory of Elon's gesture. To understand Elon Musk's remarkable act of generosity, we need to dive into the mind of a man who has redefined industries and continually shattered expectations. While many see Musk as a billionaire entrepreneur and innovator, those close to him know that he values one thing above all else: honesty, no matter where it comes from. Elon Musk's rise to global prominence is filled with stories of unconventional ideas and unexpected sources of inspiration. From his early days as a tech entrepreneur to his leadership at Tesla and SpaceX, he's always had a knack for recognizing the potential in ideas others might overlook. For Musk, FEEDBACK isn't just a tool for improvement, it's a necessity. He famously once said, "Some of the best advice I've ever received came from the unlikeliest of places." That philosophy came into play the moment Maria, a cleaning lady with no formal engineering background, stepped forward to share her thoughts on the Cybertruck. Musk didn't dismiss her because of her job title or lack of technical expertise. Instead, he listened. It's a trait that sets him apart, his ability to remain open to input from anyone, whether they're a rocket scientist or someone tidying up his office. Maria's insight had struck a chord with him. While the details of their conversation remain private, it's clear that her observation addressed a genuine concern or improvement Musk hadn't fully considered. Perhaps it was her practical perspective, grounded in real-world experience, that gave her advice such weight. For Musk, this wasn't just feedback. It was a reminder of why he values diversity of thought and inclusivity in problem-solving. But why a Cybertruck? For Musk, it wasn't just about thanking Maria. It was about making a statement. The Cybertruck represents everything Musk stands for: bold innovation, resilience, and a refusal to conform to traditional norms. Gifting Maria the truck wasn't just a gesture of appreciation, it was a symbolic act. It was Musk saying, "Your voice matters, and your contribution deserves to be celebrated." This isn't the first time Musk has shown such personal generosity. Over the years, he's been known to reward employees and collaborators in unique ways, from stock options to personalized gifts. But this instance stood out because of its sheer spontaneity and the stark contrast between Musk's world of billion-dollar ventures and Maria's modest life. It was a moment that underscored his belief that every voice, no matter how small, has the potential to influence greatness. Beyond gratitude, Musk likely saw this as an opportunity to inspire others. By spotlighting Maria's story, he reinforced a powerful message. Innovation isn't confined to boardrooms or labs. It can come from anyone, anywhere. This belief in the democratization of ideas is woven into the very fabric of Musk's endeavors, from making electric cars mainstream to colonizing Mars. As the news of his gesture spread, the world began to take notice. The story of a cleaning lady receiving a Cybertruck from Elon Musk wasn't just an act of kindness. It was a reminder that humility and bravery can spark incredible outcomes. And as Maria's life changed overnight, the public couldn't stop talking about the remarkable story. From social media buzz to news headlines, the reactions poured in, each one adding a new layer to this already extraordinary tale. Public reaction. The story of Maria and the Cybertruck spread like wildfire. It started with a few social media posts. Neighbors snapping photos of the futuristic vehicle parked in her modest driveway and sharing the handwritten note from Elon Musk. Within hours, the story had gone viral, capturing the attention of media outlets and online communities worldwide. People were captivated by the contrast. A billionaire tech visionary and a humble cleaning lady, brought together by a simple yet powerful moment of honesty. Comments poured in across platforms, celebrating the story's unexpected charm. Many praised Maria's courage for speaking up, while others marveled at Elon Musk's ability to recognize and reward her contribution. One popular tweet summed it up perfectly. "This is why Elon is different. He sees value in everyone." The Cybertruck itself became a symbol in the narrative. For some, it was a token of Musk's gratitude, a gesture that elevated Maria's voice. For others, it represented something even greater, a metaphor for innovation and breaking barriers, just like Maria had done by stepping out of her comfort zone. Media outlets quickly picked up the story, featuring interviews with Maria and neighbors who couldn't hide their amazement. Journalists speculated on what Maria might have said to Elon that inspired such a grand gesture. Headlines like, "Elon Musk's unexpected gift," "The cleaning lady who changed his mind," flooded news feeds, drawing millions of views and comments. Meanwhile, discussions online turned reflective. People shared their own stories of being underestimated or ignored, relating to Maria's experience. A movement began, urging individuals to appreciate the unsung heroes in their own lives, the people who contribute quietly but meaningfully every day. While some skeptics questioned the authenticity of the gesture, the overwhelming majority embraced it as a testament to Musk's humanity and Maria's bravery. Reflection and takeaway. The story of Maria and Elon Musk isn't just about an incredible gift or a viral moment. It's a powerful reminder of the unexpected connections that shape our world. At its core, this tale highlights the importance of courage, humility, and recognizing value in every voice, no matter how small. Maria's decision to step forward and speak her mind wasn't just brave, it was transformational. It showed that honest feedback, when given with sincerity, can resonate far beyond what we imagine. Her practical perspective, shaped by life's everyday challenges, bridged a gap between her world and Musk's, proving that innovation thrives when diverse voices are heard. Elon Musk's gesture, meanwhile, wasn't just about rewarding Maria. It was about celebrating the ethos that has driven his career. Ideas can come from anywhere. By giving her a Cybertruck, he reinforced the notion that everyone has the potential to contribute meaningfully, regardless of their background or position. For those watching this story unfold, the takeaway is clear. Never underestimate the power of your voice. Whether you're sharing an idea, offering advice, or simply being true to yourself, your perspective can spark change in ways you might not foresee.